All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive.
It's good to be back.
I hope you're settling in, finding a comfortable spot.
Yeah, get that warm drink ready.
Exactly. Maybe you're on a long drive, or maybe you are just staring at the ceiling, wondering what this is all about.
If that's you, then you have definitely come to the right place tonight.
You are in exactly the right place. Because tonight, we are not skimming the surface. We're going deep.
And we don't just mean deep in the usual sense.
No, I mean deep like the nature of reality is a house of mirrors, and we're about to, I don't know, find the exit sign.
That is quite the intro.
Yeah.
But it's pretty accurate for what we're getting into.
It's good to have you. I mean, usually we look at things you can touch, right?
Sort of things, tech, history, productivity stuff.
Solid stuff, exactly. But today we're looking at something that feels, well, it feels slippery.
Slippery is a good word for it.
We're talking about that third of your life you spend, unconscious. We're talking about dreams.
And not just dreams, but how they connect to this absolute illusion that is the clock ticking on your wall.
It's a fascinating pivot for us, I think. We're stepping away from the hard sciences for a bit.
And stepping right into the architecture of consciousness itself.
Exactly. And we aren't just, freestyling here. We do have a map.
We have a very specific guide for this one.
We are doing a deep dive into a very specific, very mind-bending document. We're looking at session 149 of the Seth Material.
Right. And to be even more specific, this is from the early sessions, book 3.
And for anyone who's keeping records, the date is April 26, 1965.
A Monday night, which I always find kind of funny, all this cosmic stuff happening on a Monday.
Just picture it. Elmira, New York. No smartphones, no internet, just a husband and wife in a quiet living room with a typewriter.
And then the universe just decides to open up.
It really does. And we should absolutely mention, before we get too lost in the sauce here, that we owe a huge debt to the New Awareness Network.
Oh, absolutely. They're the publishers who keep all these transcripts in print.
Without them, this material, I mean, it might just be gathering dust in a Yale Library archive somewhere.
It's true. They've done an incredible job of preserving it.
So if anything we talk about today makes your brain tingle, and I promise you, you really owe it to yourself to go to the source.
Don't just take our word for it.
No, please don't. You can find these books at sethcenter.com/the early sessions. We're just the tour guides, We're pointing out the landmarks.
But the books are the actual territory. You have to walk it yourself.
Well said. And just a quick housekeeping note for everyone listening.
Yes, the disclaimer.
This deep dive is distributed free of charge on all major platforms for educational purposes.
We're here to explore ideas, challenge our own assumptions, and maybe
have a little fun with the fabric of space-time.
Fun with the fabric of space-time. I like that. That should be on a t-shirt.
It really should. Okay, so let's set the vibe. It's 1965. Jane Roberts, who Seth calls Ruburt, and her husband, Robert Butts Joseph, are sitting down for their session. It's 9:00 p.m.
Right. And you kind of expect, what? Thunder? Lightning?
Yeah. A booming voice revealing the secrets of the cosmos.
The 10 Commandments Part 2 or something.
Exactly. But instead, Seth comes through, and the very first thing on the agenda is, well, it's life advice.
Specifically, how to quit smoking.
It's just so human, isn't it? It's hilarious.
It's incredibly grounding. It's this great reminder that, spiritual development doesn't mean you suddenly stop being a person with normal human habits.
And it's not just, hey, smoking is bad for your lungs. I mean, it was 1965. Everyone smoked.
Right. The advice is much more metaphysical than that.
He gives this very specific, almost weird strategy. He tells Jane, if she wants to quit a habit, the absolute best time to do it is the day immediately following her birthday.
Yes. And the why behind that is where this whole deep dive really begins. It's not just some superstition.
Yeah.
It's biology meets metaphysics. It's a fascinating concept.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I got to be honest, on my birthday, I am not thinking about self-improvement.
No, me neither. You're thinking about kick.
I'm thinking about cake. I'm thinking about presents. I'm thinking about how my knees hurt a little more than last year.
And the day after your birthday, you're probably just recovering.
I'm in a birthday hangover. That's not when I feel like reinventing myself.
And that's what most of us would think. But Seth argues that we're completely misinterpreting our own energy cycles.
How so?
Well, he explains that the subconscious mind, it actually remembers the struggle of physical birth.
You mean the actual event, the coming into the world part?
The actual event, being squeezed out into this cold, bright, loud world. It's a traumatic, high-effort event on a very deep level.
And Seth is saying our body remembers that every year.
He implies that, yeah, that annually your body and your whole energy field cycle through a kind of memory of that contraction.
So the birthday itself is energetically chaotic.
Energetically, yes. It's a bit of a shock to the system. But the period immediately following the birthday,
That's the sweet spot.
that's the sweet spot. Seth calls it a time of expansion. He says the energies are more certain of themselves.
I really like that phrase. Energies are certain of themselves. It sounds so solid.
It's a stabilizing period. Think of it like a surfer. The birthday is the big wave crashing on your head. That's the birth trauma echo.
Yes.
But the day after, that's when you've popped up on the board, you've got forward momentum, the water is pushing you, not tumbling you.
So Seth is basically saying, don't fight the ocean. You have to ride the wave.
Exactly. If you try to quit a really hard habit like smoking in, say, the middle of the year, or when you're super stressed out,
It's just paddling upstream.
you're paddling upstream, you're fighting your own biorhythms, but right after your birthday, your entire system is in this natural reboot mode.
It's expanding.
It's expanding, so you use that natural expansion to just push the old habit out. It's working with your own energy, not against it.
That is actually, it's kind of brilliant. It turns the birthday hangover into a birthday launch pad.
A birthday launch pad, that's a great way to put it.
So on my birthday, I party, and the next day I reinvent myself.
It's a strategy, and it just goes to show that Seth, despite being this non-physical consciousness, has a really deep understanding of the human machine.
He knows where the levers are.
He really does.
And speaking of the human machine, he also has this really lovely little moment with Joseph Robb, Jane's husband.
Right, because Rob had been dealing with some illness at the time.
He'd been under the weather,
Hmm.
and Seth offers this very distinct, very specific reassurance.
He tells him he'll recover within 2 weeks.
Super specific. But then he drops this prediction that I just love. He says Rob will live to be a hardy old gentleman.
A hardy old gentleman. It's such a cozy phrase.
It sounds like someone from a Dickens novel, doesn't it?
It really does. It implies, resilience, longevity, a life well lived.
But then, almost as an aside, while they're on the topic of age, Rob asks a question about his past. He asks, how old was I in Denmark?
And this is referring to a past life that they had discussed in a previous session.
Right. And Seth doesn't even hesitate. He doesn't say, oh, the mists of time are clouding my vision or something.
No dramatic pause.
He just snaps back. 83.
Boom. 83, just like that.
Just a number. But that one number, it carries so much weight in the context of the session.
It does. It completely establishes the worldview we're operating in here.
Explain that.
Well, to Seth, Joseph isn't just a guy named Rob sitting in a room in Elmira in 1965. He is a continuum. He was an 83-year-old man in Denmark. He is going to be a hardy old man in this current life.
It just zooms the lens all the way out.
All the way out. It sets the stage for everything that comes next.
Because if we are more than just these physical bodies,
Yeah.
if we've been here before and we'll be here again,
And what in the world are we doing for a third of our lives when we're asleep?
that is the question. And that is where session 149 goes from, life advice to mind-melting philosophy.
This is where we need to buckle up a bit.
Okay, let's get into it. Redefining the dream state. Because usually when I think of dreams, my first thought is, it's like a brain defrag,
The brain's cleaning crew,
Ah,
taking out the trash.
yeah. It's random neural firings. It's my brain processing that weird movie I watched last night combined with the spicy taco I ate for dinner.
And that is the standard materialist view. Dreams are a lesser reality. They're basically just hallucinations, shadows on the cave wall.
But Seth comes along and says, hold my beer.
He essentially does. He completely flips the table on that idea.
He argues that dreams are not just processing data from our day.
No, he says they are an actual experience of a different but equally real reality.
He uses some incredibly strong language here. I have the quote, and it really stopped me in my tracks when I first read it.
It's a powerful one.
He says, you focus your awareness in altered form into another universe that is in every way as valid and permanent as your own.
Valid and permanent. Those are the two killer words right there.
That is so heavy. He's saying the dream world isn't just some software program running in my head. It's a place.
It is a destination, an actual universe.
So when I dream that I'm flying through a purple city made of glass, that city,
Yeah.
it exists.
In Seth's view, yes. But, and this is a big but, it doesn't exist in the same way that New York City exists.
Okay.
He goes on to explain the actual physics of this dream universe.
The physics of dreams. I like the sound of that.
He claims the dream universe has a molecular structure.
Molecules, like HO, in my dreams.
Yes, but he clarifies it immediately. He says this structure doesn't take up space as we understand space.
What does that even mean?
It's composed of, he says, depths and dimensions rather than our familiar length, width, and height.
Depths and dimensions. Okay, my brain is trying to picture a molecule that doesn't take up space, and it's starting to hurt a little.
Okay, think about it this way. Think about the internet or a massive server farm.
Okay, I'm picturing a server room, lots of blinking lights.
Inside that server, there's a place, right? Let's call it Wikipedia. Or a huge online video game world, like World of Warcraft.
Right.
That world has a structure. It has rules. It contains a vast amount of information. You can go there. You can interact with it.
Okay.
But you can't take a tape measure and measure the width of Wikipedia in your living room.
No, I can't trip over it. It doesn't displace any air.
Exactly. It exists in a different density of information, a different, let's call it a frequency. Seth is suggesting the dream universe is similar. It's a valid reality with its own kind of physics running parallel to our physical one.
That is a really helpful analogy. So it's like we log into a different server every night when we go to sleep.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Seth describes an interdependence between these two universes, sort of battery exchange.
The charging station idea. Yeah, I love this part.
He says that we give the dream universe energy.
With our consciousness, our focus.
Right. And in return, we derive energy from it.
So it's a two-way street. It's not like we're just tourists there watching a show. We're actively fueling it.
We're fueling it. We're building it with our thoughts, our desires, our expectations. And in return, that dream state recharges us.
And not just physically, like a good night's sleep.
No, not just physically. Seth implies that if we were metaphysically cut off from this dream reality, our physical consciousness would actually wither and die.
Wow.
We need that dip into the other pool to survive here.
It's kind of like a hybrid car. You've got the gas engine. That's our waking life, chugging along.
Okay.
But you need the electric battery, the dream life, to keep the whole system running efficiently.
And while you're charging the battery at night,
We're also helping to build a charging station.
that's a perfect analogy. You are adding to the architecture of the dream world just by being there.
Which brings us to the people in our dreams. The images, as Seth calls them.
Yeah, this is a point that often spooks people a little bit.
It spooked me because usually if I dream about, I don't know, my old high school math teacher, I just assume that's a cardboard cutout my brain made.
An NPC,
Yeah.
a non-player character.
Exactly. A flat image with no substance.
Seth says, no, that's not what it is.
What does he say they are?
He says these dream images are not one-dimensional cardboard figures. He says they have mobility, they have their own perspective.
Yes.
In some ways, he says they are more mobile than we are in our physical bodies.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So the dream version of my math teacher has what rights? Does it have consciousness?
It has value fulfillment, which is a core concept we need to circle back to. But yes, essentially it has a drive to be. It has its own validity.
Okay. If it's also valid and real, why does it feel so fake when we wake up? This is the unreality paradox, right?
Right.
Why do we wake up and go, oh, thank God it was just a dream? If it's so valid, why does it feel like smoke?
It's purely a mechanism of focus.
Yeah.
That's the key. Seth says, reality then is a result of the focus of energy and attention.
Focus.
When you are in the dream, your focus is there, 100%. It feels completely real. You feel the fear of being chased, the joy of flying, all of it.
That's true. I've woken up with my heart pounding from a dream.
Of course. But the moment you shift your focus back to the physical body, to the alarm clock buzzing, the sunlight in your eyes, the feel of the bed sheets, your ego steps in.
The bouncer.
The bouncer at the door of the club, exactly. The ego's job is to help you navigate this world, physical reality.
And to do that, it has to filter stuff out.
It has to filter out any data that doesn't fit the known physics of this world.
So the ego goes, hey, buddy, you can't fly here. You can't walk through walls. So we're just going to label that entire memory as nonsense and file it away.
Correct. Seth says if we didn't have this censorship mechanism, we would be snowed under by data.
Snowed under?
We wouldn't be able to focus on driving our car or cooking dinner because we'd be simultaneously remembering the, 5 other dimensions we just visited in our sleep.
We'd be completely overwhelmed.
Totally. It's like trying to watch 10 different TV screens at once. You have to mute 9 of them just to understand the plot of the one you're focused on.
That is the perfect analogy. So physical life is the one screen we have the audio turned up on.
And Seth is tapping us on the shoulder and saying, hey, just so you know, those other 9 screens are still playing, and you're the star in all those movies, too.
I love that. It makes me feel bigger. You know?
Oh.
Like the me sitting here right now is just the tip of a very large iceberg.
And that is exactly the feeling Seth wants to evoke, that sense of empowerment. You are a multidimensional entity, whether you consciously remember it or not.
Okay, so we've got a valid dream universe. We've got a bouncer in our brain. But now we have to talk about time.
Yes. Time.
Because this part of the session, this is where the wheels really come off the bus in the best possible way.
You really can't talk about Seth's view of dreams without also talking about his view of time. They are completely linked.
So let's establish the baseline. How do we, as normal humans, perceive time? It's a line, right?
It's a line. Linear continuity, a string of pearls, past, present, future.
One thing happens, then the next thing happens. Cause and effect.
And you can only move in one direction, forward.
But Seth says this is basically a complete illusion.
A very convincing illusion, but an illusion nonetheless. He says it's a construct created by our physical senses. Our physical structure actually slows down action.
Slows down action. That implies that reality in its natural state is, what, fast?
It implies that reality is actually instantaneous and simultaneous.
Okay, my brain is starting to melt again.
Stay with me.
If everything is happening at once, why do I experience breakfast before I experience lunch?
Because of the projector.
The projector. Okay, explain that.
Imagine you have a movie on an old film reel, the physical film strip. If you pull it out of the can and hold it in your hands, the entire movie is there at once.
Right. The beginning, the middle, the end. The whole story is in my hand.
You can look at frame 1 and frame 1000 simultaneously. They exist together.
But you can't experience the story that way.
Exactly. To experience the emotion, the drama, the plot, you have to run it through a projector, frame by frame.
And the projector creates the illusion of time passing.
Precisely. Seth is saying that physical life is the projector. It slows down the simultaneous energy so we can analyze it, so we can learn from it. Atoms imprisoned in structure is the phrase he uses.
That's a beautiful phrase, but it also sounds kind of claustrophobic. Imprisoned.
I think it just means held in place for observation. In the physical world, a seed needs time to become a tree. It has to follow the sequence of frames.
But in the dream world?
In the dream world, there is no projector.
The slow motion feature is turned off.
Correct. In the dream world, growth isn't about time, it's about value fulfillment. It's spontaneous, it's fluid. If the consciousness of the seed wants to experience being a tree, it just becomes the tree instantly.
This explains so much about why dreams are so chaotic and nonlinear.
Of course.
I could be a kid in one scene, then I'm an old man, then I'm in a house I'd never seen before. The continuity is gone.
Because you're experiencing pure action, as Seth calls it. You don't travel along a line from past to future, you delve into the moment.
And this leads to that amazing geometric visual he gives. The line versus the dot.
Yes. This is a deep dive visualization, so everyone listening, try to picture this.
Okay, I'm picturing that line of time again.
Now pick any single dot on that line, any moment. Let's say this exact second, right now.
Dot to dot.
We are trained to think that the action moves from this dot to the very next dot on the line, forward.
Right.
But Seth says, no, that's not what happens. At this specific moment, this dot, action circles outward from it in all directions indefinitely.
Okay.
He calls the physical moment on the line the apex. Imagine a pencil touching a piece of paper. The tiny point where the lead hits the paper, that's physical reality. That's the apex.
And the drawing.
The drawing, the circle that's expanding outward from that point in every direction. That is the dream reality. That is the inner reality of that moment.
So every second of my life, literally every tick of the clock, is a doorway.
It is a portal, an explosion point of potential action.
So every second of my life is actually a doorway to infinite other actions.
Exactly. We just choose to ignore the doorway. We are so obsessed with what happens next on the straight line that we completely miss what is happening in the depth of the moment.
That is. It's dizzying, but in a really cool way.
It makes you look at the clock on your wall completely differently.
It's not a countdown. It's a collection of infinite opportunities.
It challenges the very idea that we are running out of time. Seth would say you can't run out of time because time isn't a resource you spend. It's a perspective you adopt.
And poor Jane Roberts. We have to talk about her experience with this. Because while Seth is dropping this 4D geometry on them,
She's the one who has to translate it into English words.
it's a fascinating struggle to witness in the transcript, isn't it?
It really is. You can feel the intensity.
She actually drew a picture during the session, right?
She did. The session notes say she felt dissociated.
Yeah.
Her voice got really loud. You get the sense she was channeling a massive amount of energy just to get this one concept across.
And she describes this mental diagram that she was seeing.
She called it a circular string.
A circular string.
Yes, a string that's formed into a circle. And on that string are a series of dots. But, and here's the trick, each dot on that first circle is intersected by another whole circle, which has its own dots.
And I'm guessing those dots also have circles.
It's an infinity of expansions, she says.
That sounds like a fractal.
It is a fractal, or a neural network, or, the large-scale structure of the cosmos.
It reminds me of those old maps of the internet where you see every node is connected to every other node.
It's a web, exactly. It's a perfect visualization of how expansion works in a non-physical sense.
What do you mean?
We tend to think of expansion as just getting bigger, like a balloon inflating, taking up more physical space.
Right.
But Jane's drawing shows that this kind of expansion is about getting deeper. It's about increasing complexity, increasing connection. You don't get bigger, you get more intimately connected.
It's like she was trying to draw the fourth dimension on a napkin.
That's a great way to put it. It really highlights the fundamental struggle of bringing non-physical knowledge into a physical brain. It's like trying to explain the color blue to someone who is born only seeing in black and white.
You have to use metaphors. You have to draw circles on paper.
You have to do your best with the tools you've got.
So, okay, we've covered the birthday hack. We've covered the dream server. We've covered the time portal. This is a lot to take in.
It is a lot, no question.
But I always want to bring it back to the ground. Why does this matter? Because someone is listening to this while they're driving to work or folding laundry or walking their dog.
This so what question?
Yeah, the so what.
Yeah.
Why should they care about circular strings and molecular dream structures?
I think it matters because of that term we dropped a little earlier, value fulfillment.
Right, let's define that properly. It sounds a bit like corporate speak, but I know it's something much deeper.
It is. In Seth philosophy, value fulfillment is the fundamental drive of all consciousness in the universe. It is the innate urge for consciousness to explore all of its own possibilities.
To become everything it can possibly be.
Exactly. Like a rose seed has the inherent drive to become a rose. A caterpillar has the drive to become a butterfly.
And for a human soul, it's much more complex.
Infinitely more complex. We have a drive to experience love, hate, creativity, sorrow, logic, intuition, all of it. We want to fill out the full value of our own existence.
And Seth is saying we do this in two different ways. The slow way and the fast way.
Correct. Physical life is the slow way, the projector model. We do it step by step, frame by frame, so we can really learn the details and consequences of our choices.
And dreams are the fast way.
Dreams are the fast way, the Autobahn. We experiment, we play, we solve problems instantly without the limitation of time.
So knowing this, knowing that I'm doing value fulfillment in my sleep every night, how does that change my Tuesday morning?
For me, it offers a tremendous sense of perspective. We get so stressed out about time. I'm running late for this meeting. I haven't achieved enough by age 30. I'm wasting time on the couch.
We feel chased by the clock constantly.
Seth is basically saying, relax, take a breath. Time is an illusion constructed for learning. You are doing the work on multiple levels simultaneously. You are achieving value fulfillment, even when you think you're just unconscious.
It creates a chill vibe about all the daily stressors. If reality is just a matter of focus, maybe I don't need to have a panic attack about this traffic jam.
Exactly. The traffic jam is just the apex. It's just the current frame of the movie. But the you that is experiencing it, that you is vast, that you acts and dreams with total freedom every night.
It empowers you.
It empowers you to realize you are not a victim of time. You are a traveler through it.
And it also makes sleep feel a lot more productive. I'm not just being lazy, I'm exploring the multiverse.
You are, as Seth says, intimately familiar with pure action. You do it every single night. You just agree to forget it in the morning so you can remember to pay the bills.
But the knowledge is still there, deep down.
The knowledge is there.
That is. It's strangely comforting. It makes the world feel a little bit more magical again.
I think that's the real beauty of the Seth Material. It doesn't ask you to escape reality. It asks you to expand your definition of what reality is.
Well, on that note, we are approaching the end of our own linear time. for this particular deep dive.
It goes by fast.
It really does. Let's do a quick recap. What are the big nuggets we are taking home from session 149?
Okay, first, the practical magic. Quit that habit smoking, whatever it is, the day after your birthday.
Ride the wave. The birthday launch pad. Got it.
Second, physical reality is the slow lane, designed for detailed analysis. Dream reality is the autobahn of consciousness. It's valid, it's permanent, and it has its own structure.
The dream server. Check.
And third, you are a multidimensional traveler. Every moment isn't just a point on a line, it's a dot that expands into a circle. You are never, ever stuck. You are just focused.
I love it. Okay, before we go, I want to leave everyone listening with a final provocative thought.
Right.
Something to chew on while you're brushing your teeth tonight before you go to sleep.
Let's hear it.
Seth mentions that we censor our dream memories to protect our ego. We block out all the weird stuff so we can function in this reality.
Right, the bouncer.
My question is this. What would happen if you stopped censoring? What if you decided, just for one night, to consciously ask your ego to just step aside for a bit? What part of you is waking up when your body goes to sleep?
And is that version of you maybe the real you?
Exactly.
That is definitely a question worth sleeping on.
Indeed it is. Just a final reminder again to please support the publishers who keep this wisdom alive. Visit sethcenter.com/the early sessions.
Check out the books. There is so much more in this single session than we could ever hope to cover.
Absolutely.
And remember, this deep dive is distributed free of charge for educational purposes. We just want to get these fascinating ideas out there for discussion.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for diving deep with us. Keep your minds open. Keep your dreams vivid.
And we'll catch you in the next moment.
See ya.